everybody, and welcome to Book Chat. I'm your host, Dr. Vivian Moore. Thank you so much for tuning in this Saturday. The show is, oh my gosh, it's back online. Everything is fixed now. And the transmission, I hope, will go smoothly today. But anyway, besides all of that, I just want to wish each and every one of you a happy Saturday. And for those of you who may be tuning in for the first time, listening to the show, I thank you. And for all of my old listeners, I thank you as well. I just hope that you got a chance to get out and enjoy the weekend. Enjoy your Saturday. We had some snow yesterday, not as much as some parts of the country, but it was just nice seeing the snow on the trees and on the grass and the bushes and things like that. So the first snowfall, well, maybe not the first snowfall of the year, but the first snowfall of this season. So I was excited to see it. I'm like a little kid when it comes to things like that. As long as it doesn't lay too long on the ground, I'm all right with it. But the temperatures too are chilly, and I just have to say that it is beginning to look a lot like Christmas because we're having the wintry weather and the cold days, and it just makes you want to get you something hot to drink inside of a mug, make chili and stews and soups and things like that, curl up on the sofa with a good book, all of those great things. So, and we're going to get straight to it. But before we do that, you know how we always do it here on Book Chat. So if you will, grab yourself a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen, something to write with, and I'll wait for you while you do it. You got it done? Okay, here we go. Of course, the first one is to my Spreaker account. And that is https://www.spreaker.com/user Author Vivian Moore. You can also check me out on Facebook and other social media. But my Facebook address is https://facebook.com/Vivian Moore. If you are interested in hobbies or things of that nature, I have several boards out on Pinterest. And one of them is dedicated, of course, to my love of books and my career of being a writer and an author. And that URL is https://www.pinterest.com/Vivian Moore 48. You can also check me out on Twitter. My Twitter handle is God's Property 46. I'm also on Instagram, and that is where I usually upload the details of the shows on Saturday morning, so you can get a first-hand view of what I will be talking about. And that, of course, is https://Instagram.com/God's Property 51. If you would, I would love for you to check out my webpage, my website. As I said before, I hadn't loaded anything new, but it is a lot of nice and exciting things that are already out there for you to go and take a look at. And also you can get just a little bit of history on me. And that is https://VivianMoore.wixsite. That's WIXSITE.com/Author Vivian Moore. And you can also check out my blog, which is on Blogger, and that's Vivian E. Moore at blogsite.com. If you want to listen to the show later, of course, you can do that on Spreaker, but you can also do it on iTunes. And all of that information is uploaded on my author page, and that's on Amazon.com. If you just go to Amazon.com just to take the shortcut and type in my name, Author Vivian E. Moore, it should bring it up. It should bring up my author's page. But if you don't want to do that, then of course, if you go to Instagram, all of that information that I just gave you is listed out there. So all you have to do is just click on the link that I highlight. You click on it, it'll take you straight there. All right. So now that we have all of that out of the way, let's move on to today's show. The title of today's show is Alpha and Omega. And the topic is don't forget about the middle. Sometimes when writing, we often focus on what takes place at the beginning of the story and the happy ending. Because I know a lot of people, before they start reading a book, they will go to the beginning of the book to see what happens. And then they will immediately page through to the back of the book because they want to see how it ends before they start reading what's in the middle. Well, life is just like that. And there's a start and it's a finish. But what about the middle? What happens during the process? It's equally important as the rest of the story. Now, life as we know it is a journey. So is the descriptive telling of any story. There are many defining moments that transpire along the way. They hold the secrets of what will be left behind or who we are, what we did, essentially our legacy, as does the life of each character of every story a writer has created. How those golden moments are approached is worth a little more time. Now, I relate the stories I write on paper often to my own life because they are similar in many ways. I was born. I did some things in the middle, and at the downward stage, I know that there will be an inevitable end. That's just the story of every life on this planet. The creation of each story is just like that. But it's what you do during the voyage that matters the most. Life is filled with half-truths and omitted details. It leaves reality hanging in the balance. The majority of every story is just like this. But you always have to read through to find out what happens, whether it's fictional or in real life. Now, I love a good read, especially the kind that hooks you within the first paragraph. And I know that the rest of the story will be just as captivating regardless of the outcome, although that matters to me too. Now, it makes me think of Oreo cookies, of all things. It's one of my favorites anyway, by the way. But it's a round, chocolatey, delicious treat that is perfect with a glass of cold milk. And much like that cookie, it reminds me of the world. Also round, always revolving, changing, but it's still anchored. Now, getting back to the cookie. If you're like me, you want to twist it off and open it up just so you can get to the yummy part, which is in the middle. The middle is often neglected, but for me, it's the most exciting part of any story. And, there's a lot of interesting details that goes on between the cover and before you get to the back of the book. It's like a sandwich. You start with 2 slices of bread. You load on the fixings. You slather it with mayo and mustard. But it's the middle that we can't wait to sink our teeth into. No, you're probably asking yourself, was she hungry when she wrote this? But no, I wasn't. I wasn't hungry at all, just in case you were wondering that. But, I like to eat as much as I love to read. I've gained such substantial insight because food is so relatable to life. I mean, it sustains us. It fuels our body and keeps us moving. And just as food is important to our health, having a great story on hand is like a banana split with a cherry on top. Also, reading is fundamental. So, switching gears here, let's move on to another important stage in life. Not to seem morbid or fixated with death, but, I've attended a few funerals during my life, and I listened to the minister as he eulogized the departed, sharing their accomplishments and what they meant to their families and a few of their favorite things, their hobbies, things of that nature. And, based on how they lived during their life it bears a greater weight than what happened at the beginning and at the end. You know, all of those things are important, the beginning and the end, but it's what's in the middle that will impact a life more than anything else. Because, you know, at the beginning, things change, you know, and that takes place in the middle. Again, I go back to the middle. And by the end, you know, that's the end of the story, whether it's a book or if it's your life. That's just how it is. You know, the Alpha and Omega, you know, when I think of those two words, automatically, you know, I'm going to go right to the Bible, because we know that God is Alpha and He's also Omega. He's the beginning, He's the end. And everything that's in the middle, you know, those are the things that happen. Those are the things that build us up as individuals. No matter what it is, it covers everything that we will do in our lives. You know, whether we are a success story, how we treated people, how we lived, you know, how we related to others, if we were socially involved, if we were politically involved, you know, just a number of things. All of that takes place in the middle, between the beginning and the end. So, you know, it's important to focus on that, because, like I say again, it is the most substantial part of anything, whether it's life or, you know, just whatever you do. Always remember the middle. Overall, you know, we all have a starting point. And in the end, you know, just remember, all the goodness of life is what happens in the middle. All right, folks. I hope that you got something out of today's show. I always like to just give these little tidbits of wisdom, to give you something to think about, to give you something to grow on, to plant those seeds, and you know, and just watch them grow, watch them develop into, you know, to wherever life change takes you, you know, that this is just part of my ministry as a writer, and it's part of my ministry as a Christian, to try to uplift and make you spiritually aware, as well as motivate you at the same time. So I hope that that you find the words that I've shared with you today rewarding in some way, in some small or some big way. You know, it's just my goal to help out in any way that I can, and I hope that I'm doing that. You know, let me know how well of a job I'm doing with this podcast that I do every Saturday, and I try to keep it under 15 minutes, because I do understand that people have lives, you know, and it doesn't revolve around this show. You know, it's totally geared to you know, what you have to do. And this is a busy time of the year, because everybody's getting ready for Christmas, and I hope you're not like me. I haven't even started to shop yet. But it's taken me a while to get in that Christmas mood, and you know, it's starting to happen. It's really starting to happen, and the snow sort of helped it out just a little bit. It didn't stick around long enough, but still, I'm starting to get in that Christmas spirit. It takes me a while because of everything that's happening, and it's not a personal thing, but you know, when you just look at what's happening in the world, it sort of zaps your appetite, you know. But I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to find my happy place, because I love Christmas. It's one of my favorite times of the year, and another of my favorite holidays. And too, I have another special day coming up, which it will be tomorrow, if the good Lord graces me to see another day. It's my birthday, so I'm excited about that. I'm super excited about that. It's a milestone for me, so I will be celebrating with my family, and I'm looking forward to that. And also taking place tomorrow is Worship Day, and you know, I always say this: take somebody with you who may not know the Lord, who may not read the Bible for themselves. Take them with you to worship. Take a friend, take a family member, take a neighbor. Just take somebody with you and tell somebody about the Lord. You know, how great He is and how good He's been to you, because that's very important. And in all things, I love you. I hope you love me back. Until the next time you hear my voice, God bless you and goodbye.